A couple of days ago, Peter Max was in our studios and he took out his pen. He went to work with that pen while he talked to Peter.
This is one of those situations, Peter, where I have to wait until you finish to find out what it is, right?
That's correct.
I don't have any idea yet. One's already done. Before we get any farther into it, let me explain. Peter is making these drawings, and we're going to give them to the Hope Center. Well, Peter's going to give them to the Hope Center, and I understand they're going to auction them off sometime in the very near future at a fundraiser. So it's your, it's your chance to get a Peter Max original. In any case, Peter's down here because he's got a show at a gallery.
Yeah, I'm at the DeVore Gallery till the 17th of January.
And he had a... Explain about the swimsuits, too. What's the swimsuit thing?
Well, you know, it's a long story, actually. In 1970, I stopped all the licensing. I used to have products out. You know,
right.
I'm really a painter. I painted all my life since I'm 3 in China and so forth. And what happened is, 1970, I quit all that, and it was a lot of fun, and I started missing it. And I think about a year and a half ago, I decided to put a small body of work aside, about 15, 20 drawings and color patches and different things and some characters, and I gave it to a design division that I have, and all they're doing is exploring it and making things out of it. So I have something for the fans again. It used to be where I used to go to a gallery show, and people, you know, besides coming and look at the art and buying the art, kids would come over and say, "When are you ever going to do scarves again? Are you ever going to do vases? Are you going to do things?" And I sort of missed doing it, so I decided to do that again. Just a little body of work.
We have some footage of you and President Reagan, Lee Iacocca, and the Statue of Liberty. This is from quite a while ago, but why don't we put the footage up and you explain what it is?
Well, this happened, actually, I painted these 3 paintings, there were 6 of them, at the White House. And over here, President Reagan is accepting a painting that Lee Iacocca gave to him. That's me. And later on, after that, you know, the renovation program began. And I was a little instrumental there. I brought Mr. Iacocca into the picture, with the situation. Yeah, I painted 6 statues of liberty at the White House in 1981 for Mrs. Reagan. She invited me. I was on the White House lawn, and we painted 6 paintings that day. All my friends came with me. We were at the White House all day long. And when I came back the following Monday, somebody actually rang my doorbell at my studio, announced himself as a great patriot, someone who loves America, is a big fan of Peter Max. I said, "Well, come on in." And he started proceeding, showing me pictures of all the things that were wrong with the Statue of Liberty. So he said, "You got to call the White House." He'd seen me on TV with Reagan and Ford, and now and also with Jimmy Carter. And always regarding the Statue of Liberty, I would always do these Statue of Liberty paintings. So what happened was I called up the White House, and they said it was a brilliant idea, getting the statue renovated, but that I need to go to the private sector. So I went somebody with some money. Yes, I went to Chrysler. That's how it happened. And you're not going to do an interior of a Chrysler product or anything like that? I've been asked. I tell you, the only things I like to do is some pop items. I like to do I've done a line of watches, and I've done some of the suits and some sportswear that are just based on various periods of my life. What I really love to do and do all day and all night, all the time, is paint. That's what I do. You've done some electronic work, too, for MTV. Yeah. In fact, we have some of that. Why don't we put that up so everybody can see what we're talking about? Yeah, this is a detail. This is a little piece, a section of a video I did for the Missing Persons. This was done all electronically. That's Dale Bozio, and she's the lead singer. And everything was done on the paint box. There was very little real footage, except those few seconds with her face on it. Before we started to do this interview, we were talking about Empire of the Sun, Steven Spielberg's new movie. I think it's a tremendous movie, and you think it's a tremendous movie for a different reason. Well, you know, what happened with me is when I went to see that film, I knew it was about a kid who lived in China, but I didn't know that this kid lived about 2 blocks from where I lived, and he went to the same school, and the whole film was about a kid that was very much like me, even though my parents didn't come from England. The same amas, the same rickshaw coolies, the same streets, and when he was running by, and there was this piece of footage where Spielberg has this plane coming by, an American plane, and it's sort of coming by in slow-mo. And a kid... Why don't we run the footage? You have that footage here? We'll continue to talk about it. Oh, that's fantastic. It's, there it is, This was you, but he's a little older than you. He was about 4 years older at this time when this happened than me, but I saw a lot of this. You know, I had the same excitement, And when the Americans were coming, you know, I saw things like this. You know, from no further away than he was, maybe we were from where this was, that camp, we were maybe, I would say, a mile away from that camp. And we saw those things happening. They were actually dropping in this film color parachutes. I saw those color parachutes with my own eyes at the time when I was about 8, 9 years old. And these were gifts that the American pilots, when they sent down to the concentration camps where the American and the English lived. And they sent these things down with colorful parachutes. It was wild. It was so exciting. I was so excited to watch this, even though it was war. There's something exciting in the middle of it when you forget that there's a war. You see the American pilots coming in. In my case, it was the American sailors. Very exciting.
You had a fairly parallel experience to
yeah, they were on a truck, and they yelled out, "Hey, kid!" And you know, and this was just when the war was ending. It was tremendous.
And that is a look at the drawing as he finishes it up. Well, that was Monday, I think we taped this. And it's going to be in the hands of the Hope Center very soon, and I'm not sure what they're going to do with it, but I believe they're going to auction it off.
Yeah.
And so, as I said during the interview, there's your chance to get a Peter Max original.
That's exciting.
It's called Monk in a Room with Lady Profile.
Where did he get the idea?
Where did he get the idea?
Yeah.
Now, that's a good question. Now, I don't know where he gets lots of his ideas. We talked a little bit about whether he got the ideas from his time in China. He gets ideas from turning MTV upside down and watching it. Oh,
I'm sure he gets
serious.
ideas in his sleep. I'm sure he gets ideas from every place.
Yeah.
That's really neat.